Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. How y'all doing tonight? Oh my gosh, I have a special guest with me tonight. It is my son,
LJ.
LJ. How you doing tonight, buddy?
Good.
You all right? You good? You got to use your voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you good? Everything good with you?
Yes.
All right. That's really cool. That's really cool. You all right? How old are you?
8.
8. When are you turning 9, buddy?
February 10th.
February 10th, man. How does it feel to be an 8-year-old?
It feels fine.
It feels fine. All right. Well, you want to say hi to the people?
Yeah.
Say hi.
Hi.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you,
Now
buddy.
I'm going to watch TV.
Okay.
Hope you have fun. Behave. If your kids don't behave, my dad go whoop them butts.
Oh, really?
Okay, bye.
Get out of here. Thank you.
Oops.
Okay. LJ. Never mind. Never mind. All right. How y'all doing tonight? I am happy to be here. That was, of course, LJ. And you got the best of him because he doesn't normally open up that much. But if you find something for him to talk about, he will open up. He will open up and speak. It just has to be something like that he's interested in. And he will open up. Yes. And I think that's the great thing about learning behaviors, learning people, like introverts, people who like to be a little reserved and keep to themselves. And he's a very cool kid. He's very expressive at times. He can express what he wants, and he can be very demanding, to say the least. Hopefully you all are doing great. You all are doing well. Your families are well. Everything around you, no matter what it looks like, whatever's going on, as long as what's inside of you, it brings it, that's what matters the most. You know, having that peace within, no matter what it looks like. They say that the boat doesn't sink unless the water get in, right? So that's how the boat sink. No matter what's around the boat, it could be storms, it could be whatever's going on around it, as long as the water doesn't get in. See, no matter what's going on in your life, no matter what's going on around you, as long as you don't allow what's going on around you to penetrate you on the inside. You hear me? Come on, I know a thing or two because I've been through a thing or two, and I'm sure you have as well. So as you can see, what I have up there for my topic tonight, the first one I want to really talk about is predators. I went on, I think it was Bulldog, something like that, .com. You can see it on my Facebook page. I went and looked up the different predators in my area. One site told me it was 1,136. I don't remember what Bulldog showed, but those were people like in my zip code that are registered sex offenders. So a sex offender is, of course, somebody who has some type of sex or sexual interaction or does something sexually towards a child or to a child or at a child under a certain age. I think it's around 12 and under, something like that. An adult doing that to a child, 12 and under, I guess depending on the state or whatever. But I think to myself, why do people become sexual predators? What happened to those men, or what happened to those women? How does this happen? And one of the things that stuck out to me is that there's a saying that says, broken people break people, or hurt people hurt people. And so it's a high probability, they say, that if somebody who's been sexually molested or raped or violated, they will, if it goes unresolved, I'll make that clear. Unresolved brokenness can cause brokenness again. It can repeat that cycle. So if that person, if there's, for example, if a child gets molested or somebody gets taken advantage of at a young age, and it doesn't go resolve, they can grow up to molest other people, take advantage of other people, very similar to how they got violated, or even worse. Uh, um, and so the key to preventing a child from repeating that, or one that becomes the child before the child grows up to be an adult, from violating another person, is to help make sure that person gets healing, gets restoration, understand that it's not their fault, because back in the days, people used to blame the child, for being molested or for being violated, and they'll say, "What did you do? What did you have on?" Like, no, it shouldn't matter. Like, the dude was sick, okay, or whoever, they shouldn't have touched the child. They shouldn't have done it. So and that's why a lot of people don't open up nowadays, because they're always blaming the victim. They're always blaming the person that is the victim, and we have to stop doing that. In our culture, we have this like thing that we sweep under the rug. If it happened from a family member, now usually in a lot of cases these things happen inside the home or inside the family, within the family. It's always an inside job. It's just like, work. It's just like if you're working at a bank and the bank gets robbed, it's like, something like that. It's like, it's the inside job. You seen those movies with those inside jobs? So that's really like how it is, how it normally happens. Is usually someone on the inside is the one that's usually the violator. And how you continue to help that person heal is to show unconditional love. There's nothing like, a person being broken, and then they can experience from their parents, especially people who are their guardians, can give them unconditional love, can and show them that love without any judgment. There's a time to sit down and speak, but as a lifestyle, as a continuation, you want to show that child love, and get them the help that they need. Get them the help that they need, because if you don't, like I said, the cycle can repeat. And then you listen to them. Hear what they have to say, and don't be so defensive and try to coerce them to think or feel a certain way. Allow them to express themselves, and you may guide them in a healthy way. And most importantly, speak life. Speak life. Speak positivity over your children. Speak positivity. Speak positive words over the children that are hurting, that are broken. We have a broken generation coming up right now. We have a broken generation coming up right now. Coming up right now, and we need to be the ones to help them. Who are going to help them? If we're just minding our own business, who is out here going to help these children? Who are going to help our children? Who are going to help our youth? Who's going to help them? And so that's one of the callings I believe that I've been called to help the youth, to help inspire youth and young people and young adults, how to overcome challenges, how to overcome crises, how to heal, how to deal, how to move on from certain crisis, from brokenness in their lives, man. It's nothing. When I was a young boy, if I can get the help that I needed when I was younger, if I can get the help that I see myself giving, it would mean a lot to me, man. Like, it would mean a lot to me. So, anyways, that's a tough thing. You want to protect your children from predators. Search in your area. You can go through my Facebook timeline, and you'll see where I share the link in the comments on my timeline on Facebook. And hey, it was an honor. Created in Love Studios did a photo shoot for us, my wife and our 4 children, and I put some of the photos up. I put them up on Instagram, and the Black Man Can shared it. It was amazing, and the other one, I forgot, Black Couple Revolution, they shared it too, and I was blown away. That was amazing. That was amazing, and I read through all the comments, and I was just liking it and thanking some of the people. It was amazing, man. When Sierra and I, here's our story. Sierra and I we met in 1999. We were teenagers, and maybe like a year and a half later, or not even 2 years. A year later, she got pregnant, a year and a half, something like that. And then after that, after the following year, we had our first child. So we were both teenage parents. Now, it was very tough after our first child was born, because we didn't know what to do as parents. We weren't cultivated. That's my word of the year, because that's the name of my book, Cultivate Your Calling. Anyway, we weren't cultivated really to become parents, to become effective parents for our children. I mean, it's not that our parents wanted us to be teenage parents and expected to be that, but coming up, we weren't taught certain lessons, certain life skills to help us become effective parents, so we can raise our children effectively. So we had many fights, we had many disagreements, we had many breakups. We went through a lot. And it was a lot of anger, frustration, rage. I mean, we hated each other's guts at one point. Sierra and I hated each other's guts at one point. We did not like each other. We did not get along a lot. We went through so much. And then when we finally tried to make it work, we were near homeless. We were nearly homeless. And that wasn't a good feeling. That wasn't a good feeling. That was not something that I would wish on anybody. We had 2 daughters at the time. And we went to this apartment in Lauderhill. And this lady, said, hey, all we need is, $500, and you'll get a place to stay. So we went, I think we had a couple hundred, and we didn't have the whole $500. And we went to one of her aunts, and we asked her, we said, hey, auntie, we need this bad. We need to get our place. Prior to that, the landlord had one of the maintenance guys show us the apartment. And so we went to go see the apartment. It was dead roaches everywhere. And I was like, hey, bro, can you show me can we see another one? Can we go look at another apartment? He was like, this is the best one. I looked around and I seen all these dead roaches on the counter. There were dead roaches on the floor. It was like a roach crime scene. It was bad. So I looked at the guy and I said, we'll take it. That's how desperate it was. That's how desperate we were. But we were excited. We were happy that we had a place. And so what we did was, there were holes in the wall. It was dirt. The carpet was so dirty. The carpet was so disgusting. We went to Winn-Dixie. Y'all remember Winn-Dixie? We went to Winn-Dixie and we got the carpet cleaner. I mean, we cleaned that carpet in each room probably 3 times, maybe 4 times. The water came out black and it got lighter each time after we were cleaning the carpet. It took us almost a week to move in that place because there were holes in the walls. There was roaches everywhere. So we had to wipe down. We had to clean up the roaches. We had to put the roach gel inside of the walls. We put the roach gel inside of the walls and we patched the wall. Mind you, I think we let somebody watch the children one time, and the next time they were in the playpen. We had 2 daughters at the time. And we put roach gel in the walls. We patched the walls. And we painted it, but right before we painted it, we bombed the apartment twice. We bombed that apartment twice before we put the roach gel and patched the wall. And I share that to share that with you, to show that with you because you know, people might, you know, mistake, just like in your life. People might mistake like, hey man, you make this stuff look easy. Bro, let me tell you something. Thank God you don't look like what you've been through, man. Thank God you don't look like what you've been through. Let me tell you something. For us to have gone through that, it really humbled us. It really brought us back, set us back. And mind you, we had many other things that I'll maybe share at another time. But man, there was so much things that we've been through. So when we bought a car, when we bought our house, when we accomplished some things, when I got, you know, a double promotion at work, I wasn't going crazy because I know where I came from. I know what I came out of. We know what we came out of. We know that the favor people portray on social media is not really favor. That's sometimes they just showing off. Favor, let me tell you, favor is when you can come out not looking like what you've been through. When you can come out and you can go in the fire and you come out not smelling like smoke. When you can qualify for something that on paper it said you shouldn't have qualified. Man, let me tell you, that's the Lord. That's God himself. Let me tell you, man. Listen, thank God you don't look like what you have been through, man. Thank God you don't look like the mess that you came out of. That's favor. Now that's favor. That's favor. And it's my what? That's I don't really like to talk about. I don't really like to talk about like sex with people because that's like, now y'all have to pay attention. Now take this serious here, because everywhere you turn, you see, half naked women. You see people just talking about sex, and it's just about nearly every post that I've seen. Sometimes, and it's not that sex is a bad thing. It's just that sex is not the primary thing. We're putting sex over purpose when purpose needs to go over sex. Let me tell you something. A woman, I'm talking to you guys. A lady, a mature lady, a classy lady her mind is not always on sex. Her mind is on getting things done, doing what we need to do to advance our home, getting our credit in order, getting our finances in order, getting our children, our house in order, getting our spirits in order, getting our lives in order. Why do we have to talk about sex when sex is just really, to me, is really just a byproduct of you walking in your purpose, of you walking in your calling? Guys, if you can provide for your family, protect your family, speak life over your children, love on them, and give your wife an experience, that's a byproduct. That's a byproduct. It will happen. Sex will come naturally. So when we talk about, what a man want, what a woman want, the only reason we're talking about that, the only reason why we're sharing that is because we're not really walking in our purpose. We're not really operating in our role, in the role that we need to be operating in. So It'll happen, guys. We don't need to try to figure this thing out. You know, a woman desires to be loved, and a man desires to be respected. So if we can get those two down, then it will happen. Then it will, that what you want will happen. So purpose, when you walk in your purpose, sex will happen. And purpose is greater than sex. Yes, I said it. Purpose is greater than having sex. Walking in your purpose. Because what happens when you get older, right? What happens when you get in 60 in your 70s and all that's on your mind, the only thing that can really stimulate you is to have sex. The only thing that can wake you up in your morning and get excited about your spouse. Now, you're in a very dangerous place when the only time you get excited about your spouse is when you have sex. Now, that's a bad place to be. What will happen if one of you gets sick? What will happen, fellas? Let me talk to the fellas. What will happen if your wife becomes ill? I've been there. So I know what I'm talking about. What happens if your wife becomes ill and y'all can't do nothing? So what's going to happen then? What are we talking about then? See, that's the problem. And nobody really talks about that. I don't hear it. Because, all right, here's something very important. A lot of people, even experts, I believe, and I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm saying here. They speak from a broken place. A lot of people speak from a broken place when they're giving you advice. A lot of these experts are giving you advice from a broken place. A lot of people are giving you marriage advice. A lot of people are giving you sexual advice from a broken place, meaning that they will give you an answer to satisfy the flesh, to satisfy what you want on the inside, but nothing to really help stimulate your relationship and take your relationship to another level. Because sex alone ain't gonna take your relationship to another level. You know, you can have the bomb sex, all you got, and if you're not taking your family to another level, my brother, that lady is not going to be satisfied. She's not going to feel fulfilled. She's not going to be happy about it. And so, a lot of people speak from a broken place. They try to teach about a topic from a broken place and not from a place of wholeness, of healthiness, of common ground, of peace, of understanding. No. So you have to be very careful, because men can be very aggressive. Men can be very aggressive in a cunning way, ladies. So, you have these guys that are 39 years of age and marrying 19-year-olds, 20-year-olds. I didn't want to bring this part up, but why not get somebody your own age? Why? Because a lot of men are broken, and so they look for younger women, younger females, that they can have the upper hand on, because they have way more experience than that female, versus the woman that's their age that has the similar experience they have, and you cannot play them. You cannot play a woman that's your age. You can't really play her, because she can see right through that. Now, a woman that's way younger than you, yeah, you can play her. You can speak into her. You know what she wants to hear. You know what she wants to hear from you. So you take advantage of that woman. So ladies, be careful of people that's constantly talking about sex and like, it's not healthy. It's not healthy, especially for singles. What are we doing? What are we doing when we're talking about sex openly like this, and we don't have like private Facebook groups where we invite couples in, or where we invite, couples in to help talk about that, but we're opening platforms and we're talking about sex. And we have no regard for singles who are trying to wait, for singles who say, hey, look, I prefer to wait. But no, we want to just open up and speak so we can all be heard, because that is the fad. That is the fad in this season. Talking about sex, that's the hot commodity in this season. And you look in your stories, half of everybody ain't got on no clothes. And that's what, we have to be very mindful of that. I can't stress that enough. I cannot stress that enough. You have to be very mindful. We keep talking about sex. Anyways, men, I challenge you guys. I challenge you guys to pursue your purpose. I challenge you to pursue your purpose. There is nothing. Listen, man, you get up in the morning and you spring up when you walk in your purpose, when you're doing what you love to do, when you're doing what you believe that God has called you to do. There's nothing greater than that, man. That is an amazing thing. That is an amazing feeling. So I like to say, cultivate yourself. Cultivate yourself. Dig. Cultivate means to dig, to work, to pursue, to really become who you are meant to be, to go on this journey, to trial and error and just work, pursue, dig, cultivate yourself. And there's a scripture that says, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, then all these things shall be added unto you. Another translation says, all these things shall be given unto you. So we don't have to be chasing the things of this world. We don't have to be chasing things that don't really bring us peace. They give us a temporary high. And when you come off that high, you're back to where you were, or even worse. So seek ye first, seek God's thing, seek God's plan, God's purpose, God's original intent for your life. And then all these things shall be given unto you. Things that you will be like, I wanted that before, but it's like I have it now. It's not really all that. So I have a book coming out. It's called Cultivate Your Calling. And speaking of cultivate your calling. It's a plea, it's a challenge for men to get in their rightful places, to heal, to restore, and lead effectively. Even in today, even in a crisis, you can discover your purpose. You can monetize your gift. You are more than a conqueror, man. Well, you have something so special on the inside of you that no one else can duplicate. So I challenge you, brothers. I challenge you, men, to step up. Your family needs you. Our women, our community, we need you to be restored. We need you to be healed. We need you to be fulfilled. We need you to walk in your purpose. We need you to walk in your calling. If not, our families are going to a lot of families are going to end up in the hands of predators, end up in the hands of people who prey on the weak, people who prey on women, people who prey on children. So that's it. I'm out. See you next time. And don't forget to cultivate your calling.